Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 4 preview between the New York Jets and the Tennessee Titans. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Jets.
The Jets offense looks comfortable in the spread formation. Geno Smith looks in his comfort zone. They're moving the football, and I think that's where they're going to have to go. Now versus Tennessee, the receivers will have to beat bump press consistently, and Geno will have to make throws into tight windows, safe throws into tight windows in order to stay on the field. Defensively, they're playing top 5 ball right now, but can't let their over-aggressiveness be a detriment to team success. And this week versus Tennessee, I would box everything in defensively versus CJ2K as well as Jake Locker. You can't give up the perimeter to the Titans, otherwise they're going to gas you for big gains on the ground. Now let's move over to the Titans in this ball game, and a manageable offensive approach has led these guys to a 2-1 record. They're not turning the ball over. They're not beating themselves. Now versus the Jets, misdirection in the running game and the passing game versus an over-aggressive defense will lead them to success. That's your screens, your counters, your traps, your sight screens to the wide receivers when you notice a hot defender coming off the edge blitzing. Those are plays that can work versus an over-aggressive defense. Now, defensively for the Titans, the biggest improvement has been up front, and one guy that has stood out to me the most has been defensive tackle Ropati Piatua. This guy has been playing some phenomenal football in the middle. Now, versus the Jets, they have to get creative up front, whether it's showing different looks or stunts or pressures, but they have to get creative because I think they do have an advantage on the inside.
I like what I saw last week from the New York Jets in the passing game, and here's how they can have some more success this week versus the Tennessee Titans, who have a very aggressive defense. You want to move the pocket for Geno Smith, change up his launch pad spot. I'm going to show you how they can get that done off of play action. So, like I said, off of play action, so you're faking the handoff to the running back as you're rolling out. So you want to set up Geno off to the right. Now you want to bring the guy in motion, and at the snap of the ball, give your young quarterback your built-in hot read right there. Boom, that's your quick throw. That's your easy throw. You're going to check here first. You also have your backside post. Now, let me back up a little bit. So it's up to Santonio Holmes to read the safety. If you're in man, you want to break it, continue. If they're in zone, you want to break it up, hopefully trying to find that void. Now, also, the tight end's job is to work up, and versus the strong safety, you give him the option. Versus man, depending on which side the strong safety is playing, he's going to break in or break out. And if it's zone, you break to the corner. So again, you're giving Geno Smith options. You trust your tight end. He can make the right decision. And as you have your takeoff route. So if this guy is in man and you see where the strong safety is sitting on this tight end and he broke down, we know Geno Smith can hit that big play downfield in the hole. So you see where putting Geno Smith on the move not only gives you opportunity to hit the short plays and move the chains, but also give you a chance to hit the big plays deep down the field. In order for the Titans to have some success versus the Jets passing game, you have to take away the quick pass of Geno Smith. And we've seen so far in the preseason, as well as last week versus the Buffalo Bills, there's an issue with seeing the drifting linebacker underneath the slant. I'm going to show you how they can communicate in the secondary to make sure they get that, come away with the interception and come away with the bat down. So here's the routes they love to run. They love to run that route here and run the slant on the inside. And you have the back releasing the flat with the slant coming inside. So you may have the back check down and work up. So now that you see the route combination for the Jets, how can the Titans better position themselves to make that adjustment? So what you really want to do, you want to get tight on the wide receivers, on the corners. Have Geno Smith think you're following this guy in man coverage, but really you're passing him off to your next help, which is the outside linebacker. So the cornerback is going to ride halfway. He's going to see the crosser, so he's going to stop and take this crosser while the linebacker's job is to take that slant. And we've seen this happen a couple times with the linebacker drift underneath and pick it off and take it to the house. Same way over here. Drift halfway, see the incoming crosser or the incoming flat route or flare route. Take that, pass it out to the linebacker there. And also you have the safeties dropping in just in case that slant breaks free. They can make a play on the receiver or make a play on the ball, and you have your inside linebacker dropping down on the hook route. So you see how communicating in the secondary, passing guys off, can put you in position to not only knock down the ball, but also come away with the interception versus a young quarterback.
The X factor for the Jets will be the mental aspect. Can they not shoot themselves in the foot? Can they not beat themselves? Can they not get themselves in bad situations? They're going to have to tighten up on the mental aspect this week if they want to win a game on the road. The X factor for the Titans will be Jake Locker's legs. You got to remember, he's an athlete. Use his legs to create opportunities in the passing game as well as in the running game for Chris Johnson. If they can do that, the Titans definitely have a huge opportunity to come away victorious. Now, here are some coaching points for both teams in this ballgame. For the Jets, they have to continue to move the chains. Right now, they're converting only 36% on third down. That's not going to get it done. That's going to keep you out of a lot of ball games. And you want to keep Winslow and also Santonio Holmes on the same side. That gives the defense a lot of problems with trying to match up versus those two guys. And plus, those are your two best receivers, and it also allows you to get one-on-one coverage on the backside with Stephen Hill or Jeremy Curley. And you want to beat the guards to the point of attack on defense. Like I've said before, the Titans love to run the power, the counter, beat the guards to the point of attack, and you can have a great chance of slowing down the ground game. And for the Titans in this game, you want to bracket Santonio Holmes. You want to take away the rookie quarterback's number one option and force him to throw the football to other targets consistently throughout the ball game. And I believe running off tackle will be the way the Titans can move the football on the ground, whether it be with toss sweeps, cracking back those wide receivers on those outside linebackers, or just reaching the edge with the offensive tackles. They have to be able to run off tackle in order to have success. And B-gap pressure, that's between the guard and the tackle, puts those guys in the bind. And I think that's where the Titans have the advantage up front, and it can also ultimately create opportunities to put Geno Smith on the ground or get batted passes, or even better, create turnovers. I like the Titans in this ballgame, and quite honestly, both the Titans and the Jets are the same team. Both can be 3-0 as well as can be 0-3 so far this season. So when I look at the game and who can come out victorious, I look at where are the breakaway elements, and I have to go with the backfield of the Tennessee Titans. They have the guard play. They also have the breakaway threat in CJ2K. That's one carry away from going 80 yards. So I think right there in a close game, I have to side with the Titans to come away victorious at home versus the Jets, although it will be a great game this weekend. And also want to give a huge shout out to Titan fan forums and Jet fan forums for always showing football game plan support.